What to do, Stop Boy D, and today we're going to have another breakdown of a project I've just invested in. And this is one I did say I was going to get, and it is Equine NFTs. And this project, guys, does look really, really promising. It's not one I'm into for the art. Even though the art, in terms of horse racing, the art is pretty good. Yeah, I can't lie. But I am more into this for the straight up utility. So this is the website, as you can see, and we'll go through it a little bit. So it's it's for a racehorsing game, which you're going to be able to use your racehorses to earn income, and you can also breed and all sorts of different stuff. So we're going to get into a little bit more of that into the white paper. So yeah, I am absolutely bullish and buzzing about my two purchases. I'll show you. In fact, we'll have a look at I will have a look at my horses at the end of the video. Right, so racehorses. So each equine horse is born with a unique stat and features just like real life horses. Equines don't live forever. They'll grow, become stronger, and have their days of success and stardom, but they'll also age and retire. So just like real horses, guys. So here we got some jockeys. So you can also have jockeys as well. So every horse needs the right jockey to guide them and to win. Equine has a range of unique jockey NFTs to be paired with horses in live races. Each jockey has specific characteristics that could impact your horse's performance, so be sure to pair your horse with the right jockey. Remember it, good pairs make great races. So this is also something that you might want to think of when you're buying your NFT. I've only got 2 horses at the minute, and I will be looking into getting some jockeys to ride the horses as well. Now, there is a YouTube channel that's got some great information. If you literally just type in Equine NFT, and it does come up with a hell of a lot of stuff here, like developer updates from the 9th of April, so not long back, AMA session from December. They're also doing some sort of invitational underground game where this has been made by the community, if I understand correctly. So this is a really good space to keep updated and keep your eye on it. Obviously, this was a feature at Cardano Summit 2021. You're really early when it comes to this, guys. You're really early. It's good to get in early. So breeding. So equines can breed, so you can utilize genetic principles to come up with your stable's own breeding program, where you can create genetically superior offspring or discover and maintain bloodlines with rare colorways. So this is sick. So the life cycle of a horse. So horses age at the rate of 1 horse year per real-time month. So every month is a year. They live for a total of 18 horse years, 18 real-time months, after which a horse NFT will no longer be usable in races or breeding. Okay, so that's important to remember, because from my understanding as well, we'll get into the breeding a bit more, but you can breed, if you got a mare, 1 horse per month, and you can stud, I think, 5 times a month. So my whole strategy is to race the 2 I have until they get older. So as you can see here, and then start breeding them. So from 0 to 6 years, they are foal, yearling, juvenile, and onwards. And then from 6 to 11 years, they're adults. And then senior from 11 years plus, and then 18 years, your horse dies. So probably like maybe to year 14, maybe, and then start breeding, because you're going to be able to get yourself 4 horses. But what I do like here is that you're going to be able to re-roll for the pioneer horses. So that's why I'm so big on getting the pioneer horses now, because you'll be able to, when your horse dies for a certain amount of ADA, which is going to be a lot cheaper than buying a horse. We'll go into the market and have a look at the price of the horses, but a lot cheaper than buying a horse. You can basically get another one. So we look at the physical stats and some of the characteristics. So obviously you've got speed for the physical stats, stamina, acceleration, endurance, and agility. So obviously the max speed when galloping, the amount of available energy, how quickly the horse can speed up, and the rate of stamina recovery. So not the rate it goes down, the rate it recovers, and agility, and the ability to handle adverse track conditions. So I suppose that means that run on different sorts of track, etc., etc. So we got the mental stats, so wisdom, energy conservation, especially when you're ahead, determination, behavior when behind the pack, and courage in the thick of the pack. Okay. So also, what you're going to be able to have actual horse skins. Some of these are going for a pretty penny on JPEG Store. I'm going to probably play... the skins don't really bother me, to be honest with you, because I'm more about just playing it as I play it. You know? Sorry, guys. Like, in terms of playing it as a player, I mean, like, just playing it... I'll be playing the game, and I'll also be recording and letting people know how I get on. But in terms of the game itself, I'll just be keeping normal skins. I won't be using any of these special demon skins or anything. So we're just going to have a quick look at the roadmap. Also have a quick dive into the white paper. So you've got the Pioneer NFTs, and you've got the stables and the guild system coming. So people are joining different guilds and factions in regards to doing what they're doing. So you might have, you might join a guild that's specialized in breeding. Let's say, so next minute you're breeding sick horses and selling them on the market, etc., etc. Or you might have one that's dedicated to running, actual racing the horses. So there's going to be so many different ways you can earn income from this project. I'm so bullish on it. It is ridiculous. So you've got the racing and the breeding, which is hopefully going to come in Q4 2022. So you're early. I'm telling you guys, you're early. You know, Q3, we're going to have the stables, as I say there. Yo, we're early. We are early. So meet the team. So this is what I love. I love investing in teams like this. Fully doxed. Fully doxed. Like Farhad, this guy is a big name in the Cnft space from what I'm hearing and my understanding. He's got, just on his page alone, 20,000 followers. So this guy's not messing about, you know, as you can see. You know, I haven't looked on the other guys' pages as of yet, but I have listened to them speak on their YouTube channel and heard it. Like this guy, from what I know, these are the developers. He knows a lot about the blockchain. So I have Nick, and Marek. I don't know who this Zach is, but we'll have a little bit more of a look into him as well. So that is it for the website. So what we'll do now is just have a quick look at the Twitter. So this is the Twitter here, and they got 17k followers. Kind of made me snigger a bit because I was like, oh, that Farhadoukin, he's got way more followers than the actual game itself. But as you can see, it's an NFT-based racehorse management game, Pioneer Collection sale concluded, platform under construction, yada, yada, yada. So I am a member of the Discord, and we'll go pop into that in a second. But right now, I'm just going to jump into the white paper. So guys, this is a white paper. I have read it. I've also watched Blake Cnft read it and Chrissy read it as well. And now I'm going to go through it with you. I'm not going to go through it in huge depth, but we're just going to take a little look about over a few things of maybe what you need to know. If you guys want to come in and obviously read this in a lot more detail, you can do. So we're not going to go over the stats, aging, gender, or breeding. We will look at the training though, because we've obviously already touched upon stats, aging, gender, and breeding. So training. So that will be, okay, to that. I like how you can just click as well where you want it. So training will allow horse owners to further improve their horse's stats by targeting specific stats they want to improve. This training is planned to be made easy for the players, where they will just need to pre-select their preferred training plan and then ensure to enter their horses into at least one race every month. This would allow players to provide their horses with a training regimen with minimal time spent, However, those who dedicate more time strategizing may customize and adjust their training program to help their horse reach their full potential. While the training element will be less substantial than the impact of DNA in a competitive realm, it is expected to be an important component for optimizers because it will allow horse owners to affect stat growth beyond biological potential, which could give them the edge they need. While realism is desired in our design, in the spirit of keeping things as fun as possible, equine horses don't die nor fall sick. So that's a brilliant thing there. You know, they don't die and they're not sick. But if you have a horse that maybe, say, is not that great, then you're still going to be able to improve the horse, you know, which is great, you know, because I bought both my horses off the floor. You know, to me, the horses are expensive, like $325 for each horse. You're looking what, like $650 ADA for 2 horses, and that's before you've even got into any jockeys. So I've just got mine off the floor, and I'll get into the pricing in a little while because I have been watching these for a while. So good pairs make great racers. So the synergy between, well, in fact, we'll look in the Discord. There's a little bit more about jockeys. In fact, we'll read it now. So the synergy between a jockey and a horse is of paramount importance in horse racing. Jockey NFT is a digital representation of a jockey. It is an optional feature, and players can still play the game with a horse, but without their own jockey NFT. The right jockey will know best how to handle their horse and how to motivate them to perform better. Before entering races, players will be able to choose from jockeys they own to best complement their horse's abilities. Jockeys act as a modifier to a horse's mental skills and could push a decent horse towards a legendary performance or possibly hinder a legendary horse from winning. So it's not particularly great. It might not be good to use a jockey at certain times. You're going to have to look at the stats of your races per horse and see what happens. So these are the different stats we've got. So the personality type. So every equine jockey will have one of 6 personalities, each of which impacts the specific traits, mental stats of a horse. The jockey personality types are as follows. So we've got Y. So with years of racing comes experience and knowledge, which enhances a horse's wisdom, which is probably the one I'm going for the most, if I'm being honest. To me, that sounds right. Determined, a jockey's resolve enhances a horse's determination. Brave, nothing stops them. The equine will have increased courage. Tempered, they are brave and clever, so they know how to encourage a equine's wisdom and courage to increase. Visionary, always a few steps ahead and fully committed. Their horse will have increased wisdom and determination. Steadfast, their unbreakable spirit slightly increases the courage and determination of the equine they're riding. Some jockey personalities type enhance only one attribute and some others enhance 2. However, the magnitude of total enhancements is equal, to which enhances 2 attributes spread it evenly between the 2 attributes. Okay, so let's say one might have 100, but you can't have one with 100 and one with 50. It would be split between the 2 equally, so it'd be 50 on one and 50 the other. So further, there are no stat or attribute differences between individual jockeys. Any jockeys with a certain personality type will have exactly the same effect as another jockey with the same personality type. So jockeys are optional modifiers in the system. So whenever a player does not equip a jockey in their loadout, they will be assigned with a balanced jockey with a balanced stat modifiers. Okay, so that's a little bit about jockeys. Now, skins, I'm not going to get into skins. Basically, you can make it look different. It doesn't have any effect on it whatsoever. You can just make it look different. So we'll get a little bit into the racing mechanics. So equines, as you can see here, racing mechanics. So equines truly come alive on the racetrack. Races on equine are performed based on an original racing engine, which was built in detail to simulate race parameters and present the races so players can watch all the thrills and spills of horse racing unfurl onto their screens when it is time to race. So you have the pre-race. So using the equine DAP, a player would be able to select a specific race they would want to compete in and display their horses which are eligible to race. Races will be split into tiers to ensure races are between similarly skilled horses. Higher tier horses will still be able to compete in lower tiers, but have a handicap. Handicap will be applied to them to keep the races fair. After a horse and its relevant jockey and skin, both optional loadouts are selected for a race, a player would select their gate and wait for the race to kick off. Hey, so mid-race. So during the race, players will have front row seats to see how well their race duo performs. The race engine will take all the variables into account, simulate the race, and display it for the viewing pleasure of the participants. So post-race, after a race end, winners will be eligible to receive their prizes no matter the outcome. Every race can help participants better understand their horse and jockey performance, which can help players build better strategies for future races. So you might see your horse as being, it's got a higher chance of winning shorter races. Therefore, when you see a longer race, you don't want to put that horse in that race. Things like that. So racing simulation. So the Equine racing engine is the heart behind the main attraction, horse racing. The bespoke racing model takes all the available smart contract data, horses in a race, their physical and mental stats, their jockeys, track length, surface condition, and so on, and builds a realistic run-up step by step, which is then played to the viewers. A working prototype has been developed and is being validated through millions of simulations to ensure all elements are properly balanced and offer fair and realistic outcomes to avoid, for example, all horses suddenly breaking world records. So, and racetracks, so different racetracks will be designed to offer a variety of conditions such as overall track length, shape, surface, field size, and so on. Track conditions will always take reference from existing physical racing tracks in their design and will offer a core element in the race simulation. Learning how horses perform in different track conditions will be a major part of racing activity. So your horse ain't guaranteed to be good. Just because it's good in one track, don't mean it's going to be good on the next one. So this is what I mean when I say this game, it takes it deep. It takes it deep. So this is something you probably want to know. So race entry and fees and earnings. So standard races will require an entry fee in ADA and will offer earnings in ADA. Races will be structured in different tiers, each with its own representative entry fee and prize levels. These tiers are separated from the defined horse performance class bracket and are primarily regulated to entry fee and prize payouts. So prize payouts will typically be derived from 90% of the combined entry fees, out of which the top 3 placing horses would win, earning typically first place fees take 60, 25 takes, second place takes 25%, third place takes 15% of the prize payouts. The remaining 10% of the fees and entry fees will be used to fund the platform operation, maintenance, and development. You got to eat, you got to make sure stuff works. So I ain't hating on that. So free races will not require any entry fee and will still offer winners prizes in ADA. Such free races will be hosted regularly. However, they will not comprise the majority of races held and will be less frequent than standard races. Other prize categories such as special skins or other NFTs can also be won during special events offered throughout the year. So if you're looking to come into this game and just try and rinse loads of free races, it's not going to be done. It's going to be difficult to do so. So, if you're looking to maybe try and make money off the breeding side of things, because you didn't want to keep, there's going to be fees for breeding as well. So whichever way you go down, you're going to have to pay some sort of fee to use and play this game. So betting is not considered to be part of the core equine platform at this stage. However, subject to regularity conditions, development in this direction, initially or through a third-party platform, we always be under consideration. So that is something where I think they need to be looking into that straight away, like now. Right? And the only reason why I say that is because betting and gambling is a huge part of horse racing. If you want to make this as realistic as possible, it is kind of very similar because you've got to own the horse and then you're going to pay wink, wink, to enter the race, and then you win, wink, wink, a portion of that. But yeah, I think they should make it so, you know, people can actually just watch your horses and just bet on it. So breeding mechanics, we definitely want to get into the breeding mechanics. So when the time is right, given that the horse is old enough, a player can decide to retire their equine horse from racing and use it to breed a new generation of racers. Taking a cue from real life, once a horse moves to breeding, it will not be able to race anymore. So this is a big strategic decision that a player should consider carefully before putting their horses to breed. Breeding cycles occur every month, during which a player can initiate the breeding process for a fee, and the owner of the mare will receive a brand new equine horse NFT as a result. All breeding sessions will result in the successful birth of a foal. So you're not going to be able to like flop it, and you know your horse has been sat there waiting for a month, and now the baby died in birth or something like that. So you'll always get one. So each mare will be able to breed once a month, and each stud will be able to cover multiple mares in a month. The monthly limit for studs will initially be set at 5 covers per month. However, the cooldown is subject to game balance considerations. Equine horses reach maturity at 6 years old when all their physical stats reach their maximum DNA potential. Right, so that's something you want to bear in mind, because after then it's probably going to start to decline. If a player decides to move their horse to breeding between ages 3 and 6, all their physical stats will be updated to reflect their full revealed DNA stats as if they were 6 years old without increasing their age. So this is something I've done with mine. I'll go into it in a bit. So renting a stud. So if a player owns a mare and a stud, they can do their own breeding, which I have. If a player only owns one gender in their stable, or they want to breed with a specific horse, it will be possible for them to connect with other horse owners, and create their dream couple. Players will have a choice to select suitable mating pair of mare and stallion from their own horses, or if they happen to own a mare, they will also have a choice to use the services of another player's stallion to breed. The owner of the mare in such a circumstance would pay the stallion owner their set stud fees for the service, and the owner of the mare would keep the offspring. Once a stud is selected, payment and breeding will happen through the smart contract. From here, the new horse NFT is generated and sent to the wallet where the mare sits. Okay. And so genetics of breeding, so the offspring will inherit genes from its parents and the parents before them. This will usually result in a mixture of traits similar to its parents, but there may also have instances where a fowl can go beyond the parents' capabilities, thanks to a legendary trait from its grandparents. Or our breeding engine will utilize Mendelian genetics for realistic outcomes of the breeding of two horses. Our horse's DNA includes all the information about the stats, colours and markings, so good planning can lead to superior horses, i.e. the outcome of colours and marking. So the outcome of mating two parents is likely to match expected inherited characteristics. However, the parents could also pass down different performing pair of DNA, just like in real life. So the breeding costs, so they're not too, so basically, I'm going to show this up in a nutshell. They're not too sure about what the breeding costs are yet. But the breeding costs are going to reflect depending on how it goes, how the game goes. You know, what they basically don't want is everybody just breeding horses, flooding the market. So, you know, if you maybe you have to pay a little bit more to stop people from doing this, you know, it's understandable. So yeah, you own your NFTs, and there's the market policy. So we know about all that. So here's a bit more about the team. So Farhad, so a lifelong gamer with a focus on competitive games in the community building and a background enriched with diverse creative experience and engineering, education, and more recently, a strong dedication to NFTs, both as a collector and as a believer in the technology. He oversees all elements of the project with a keen interest in game design, creative direction, and unlocking the future vision of the project. So Nick A, and you can see there's a Twitter handle there. So a physicist who has been working as a scientific software developer for over 8 years. Nick was part of the first cohort of the Plutus Pioneer program for smart contract development and has been operating vending systems since April 2021 for multiple projects. He leads all the technology and research and design aspects for the project. So Marek F. So Marek has over 16 years of marketing consulting experience for global companies, most recently focusing on the gaming and technology sector. He has been involved in the Cardano NFT community since the original Spaceballs launch and has experience with launching CNFTs. He is primarily in charge of marketing, planning, and strategy. And Zach C., the Australian chief advisor. So Zach is the horse expert of the team, a true horse lover who has been working with horses for more than 20 years with all the experience that comes along with it. He also joined Cardano NFT from the very beginning when Spaceballs launched, and he brings to the table a realistic view of the physical parallel to the virtual racehorse ownership. Okay, so that is just a little bit. We've already went through the roadmap. I mean, there's a little bit more in depth here, but we've already been through it anyway, so we're not going to keep wasting time. So the Pioneer collection, we've already went through the Pioneer sale. Pioneer sale's out now, but there are some things you might want to know. Like, for example, they only start aging when they activated in the game. For some reason, they start at 2 years old. And I think it's here, a completely new pack. Yeah, so when they die, you'll get a commemorative statue. However, the owner will also receive a second token, which can be used to redeem a completely new Pioneer horse for a nominal fee of 20 ADA. This token will also be an NFT, therefore it can also be sold, traded with someone else. Pioneer horses will not have any advantages over non-pioneers with regards to stats, and will not provide a competitive advantage. So the reason why I've got the Pioneer horses at the minute, because technically when it dies, you can re-roll it again for 20 ADA. Like I said to you, I've just spent 325 ADA on a horse. So if it dies and I had to buy another one, that'd be another 325 ADA. But I can just roll it over for 20 ADA and get another horse and start breeding it. So for me, that's sick. You know, that's why I suggest people get into it now. So you got the jockeys here, which I'm not going to get too much into the jockeys. You know, if you guys want to read into the jockeys, you can do. This video is getting quite a bit long now, and I guarantee I know you guys have got some stuff to do. It's Easter. So that's a little bit at the end of the white paper there. So we're going to go and have a look at the horses. So as you can see, the floor is 325. Now this floor, it seems to settle here now. Now there was some horses for 325 on earlier. I sniped them. I got some horses for 325. I've been watching the price, and the price doesn't seem to drop lower than 325, or it seems to struggle to drop lower than 325. Here's my horses here. So you can see I've got buzzing. I'm so happy with my horses. So happy. I've been wanting to get these for a while. It's a big buy. You know, I'm not going to lie to you. You know, there are certain people that aren't going to have that money to put into the project like this. But, you know, I believe in this project, and I believe it's going to be a good investment. There are people out there with 30 horses. You know, I think it's going to be a good investment moving forward. And now I've got two, a filly and a colt. Technically, I could breed a stable. You know, that's all you kind of need. So I could just keep breeding and breeding and breeding. And then take the best of what I've bred and breed them again. You know, so that's kind of my plan. My plan is to obviously learn as much about the game as possible, try win as much as I can, and when they get to a certain age, start breeding them. That is my plan. And I've got two, so I can do that. So yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm hype, very hype. So this is the Discord. Obviously, it's not overly hyped today. It is Easter, you know, but you can look at playing the games in the Discord as well. See how many members they've got. High amount of members. Doing very well indeed. Very well indeed. So you can jump in here, speak to Marek, speak to any of the guys in here. They do respond. I was chatting to some people earlier in here. One guy called JPS. Shout out to JPS. He's a really cool guy. Helped me understand more about the game. So yeah, as I showed you, this is the YouTube channel as well. So it's definitely something I think that you want to look into. I think it's a future, in my opinion, it's a future blue chip. But from looking at the activity, from the price, 325 is cheap. In my opinion, it's not financial advice, but as you can see, an hour ago, 500. I think that was mine. 325, 325. 330, 325, 325, 500, 630, 325. You see what I mean about 325 mark? 550, 555, 700, 350, 580, 650, 349, 349. The lowest I've seen these go is 325. So I've scrolled. Oh, here you go, 315. I had one at 315. I missed that one. But as you can see, getting one for 315 is not easy. Like, if you can get one for 315, well done. If you get one for under 300, well done. Right now. So I've been watching these for a while, and I seen that it was 325. Seemed to be good. Seemed to be pretty good in my opinion. I was wanted to buy, and I seen it was like near 400, and I was like, I don't know if I'm paying 400. But I stayed patient, and boom. And the thing is, if you look at the Dali Go on Solana, you're looking like three Solana. 3 Solana just for one of those horses. I think these are going to go up, and I do think they're going to go up well. If you look at Z-Run, the Nakamoto's, you're looking thousands. I'm not too sure exactly how many ETH you're looking, but you are looking thousands for the Nakamoto horses. So I'm big on Cardano. I decided to get into this project early before it came out. I will be getting some jockeys. I don't have any jockeys yet, but I will be getting some. But as you can see, guys, looking at the prices, like 325, in my opinion, for me, was a steal. In my opinion, from what I've seen the prices being. What the hell's going on here? Oh, we got a 230, but that bought 3 months ago. 3 months ago, you probably could have got it for that. So yeah, we're going. If months and months ago, you could have got it lower. But do I think it's going to drop underneath that? I don't. And I'm sorry to drag it on, but the reason why I don't feel like it's going to go under that isn't anything to do with Cardano. It's to do with the XRP lawsuit, because I genuinely think they're going to win that, and it's going to come to a head, and that's going to be good for the whole crypto space in general, in my opinion. I've got my XRP. Not financial advice, but I'll be copying some more as well until this lawsuit's done. But yeah, so Equine NFT, Pioneer Horses, blockchain, it's a stock boy D, blockchain finance and value. Like and subscribe. I hope you guys like the breakdown, and peace and love. And happy Easter. Like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe.